Welcome back, everyone. Ah, today's a new day, a very, very blessed moment, and I just we've been through a lot, but been so busy, so I'm just trying to catch up and also use this moment to share my experience in Tanzania after 10 days, and it's a great experience that I feel like we all need to know. And I have a video coming up as well, very educational. So if you just join, just comment below, let me know where you're watching from, and always remember to smash the like button. But is my schedule has changed. It's been very hectic. Back to school, you know, back to business, a lot of stuff. So it hasn't been easy. So creating content these days is becoming tougher and tougher for me because I don't really get enough time. But today I just want us to have a conversation, talk about my experience in Tanzania, and share one or two stuff as well. So if you just join, we just have two people right now. I just don't want to make this like so long. So please try and be conversational. When you come, just comment below. It doesn't take you anything. So just say, hey, hello, how you doing, and all that stuff. Just be nice, okay? Just relax and be nice. You don't lose anything, right? So when you just join, smash the like button and just comment below, and let's just wait for some few people to join, and I can just go ahead and share my experience and also talk about our upcoming trips for next year to Ghana, Tanzania, Egypt, and we have one amazing destination coming as well, which is Kenya. So you don't want to miss all this. You don't want to miss it. So let's just wait for some few people to join, and then we can boom, 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 keep it going. So I don't see their comment. Are you guys dropping comments or not? I just want to see comment. We have four people watching it. That's cool. But just drop your shout out. I just want to see who is watching and all that stuff. But we were in Tanzania for 10 days. We cannot wait for people to join. So I'll just go ahead and talk about it. We were in Tanzania for 10 days. We basically went to two big cities, Dar es Salaam and Zanzibar. And technically, I was just trying to see, we had an amazing trip in terms of, exploring the country. But I was just trying to see how different it is, with Tanzania, Ghana, and all this stuff, right? And one key thing I've realized is, language barrier. So, in Tanzania, the Swahili is used everywhere. Most people really don't speak in English, or they are not really fluent, right, to talk in English. So the communication is really hard in the sense that you need to really have an English guide or person, a local person with you that can really like communicate with most local people. Else they are not really gonna respond that much. It's like they want to talk, they want to be conversational, but they just don't understand what you're saying, right? What you are trying to say. So that's one aspect of it. They don't really speak English. So you need to really know one or two Swahilis to go by before you can really feel comfortable moving around. And one trickish thing too is their currency. So, $1 is like 2,300 T shilling. That's Tanzania shilling, right? So you might probably think that's a lot of money. So if you exchange like $100, you probably getting like like 10,000 or maybe 100. Let me do my math well, like 20,000 Tanzania shilling, right? For that. But then 20,000 Tanzania shilling will just go so fast, right? So even though their currency, the zeros are too much, and you think the dollar value goes so high, it's not really, the value is not really the same. It's just the numbers. The number sounds really huge, but the value is not the same, right? So don't just get it confused if you just Google the exchange rate online. So just go, hey, thanks for joining. Thanks for joining. Smash the like button by you. So honestly, my take is Tanzania is a great place, but then the language barrier is really tedious if you're gonna. It's good for vacation, trust me, and adventures and exploring. But if you really want to move there and stay, my honest opinion will be just make sure you are ready to learn the language so you can get around really pretty fast, or you need to really make some local friends that can really guide you and navigate through the system when it comes to doing business and talking to people, because most people don't understand English. And guess what? Most of their writings, I mean, all their writings are already in Swahili. So you can't even read a sign. Like, all the signs are in Swahili, everything is in Swahili. So if you can read and write in Swahili, like you can't even read, like if they have don't go to this place or do not enter or maybe don't drive here, they have it in Swahili. So if you cannot read Swahili, you cannot understand what they're trying to say, right? So it's very important to really learn one or two Swahilis before you get there, and the currency. And then one thing I also deduced from the trip was they are mostly Muslims, right? So, but one thing is they are welcome, very welcoming, So regardless of your faith, you blend in. They don't really care. They don't really, like, focus on, you are not a Muslim and all that stuff. They are very, very friendly, very, very welcoming, So that's something you don't have to worry about. But the two things is don't get it confused. The language is not in English. Most people don't speak English. And then, all the signs, are in Swahili. And one other thing is when you go to Zanzibar, there's a lot of foreign people there, a lot of them. And not just Zanzibar, but I realized Tanzania is made up of different people across sub-Saharan, African countries. So you see a lot of Indians in Tanzania, and these Indians can speak Swahili. Most were born there. Most, a lot of them have ancestry from there and all that stuff. So you find a lot of, Arabians, Indians, Chinese people that have been there for years. Those people can speak Swahili like fluently. You would never think. The only way you can identify them and say, hey, this person is not a typical Tanzanian is maybe the color of their skin or their hair or maybe their features. But other than that, trust me, they they have a lot of mixed people in the country, different people, and it's just something that I saw very diverse. But Zanzibar have a lot of Europeans are packed in Zanzibar. I'm telling you, a lot of Europeans are packed in Zanzibar. Like every corner you turn, you see a lot of Europeans out there. It's like they run business, they live there, they go to school, like they are just there, like permanently living and enjoying their life in Zanzibar. Some people stay at the beach all day, and they are all over the place. But I honestly love it. It was fun. The safari was amazing. Like when it comes to safari, oh, Tanzania safari was amazing. Let me read a comment. I bought a traveler's guide from Barnes and Noble for Kiswahili. Oh, awesome. How much was it? What country do you like the most? So far, I don't have a favorite. I just like to enjoy whatever. I think they should be doing this. They should be doing that. This country is better than this. No, we even individuals are different. So I cannot expect you to do things the way I do stuff. I can only see the difference in it and then appreciate it or see the positivity in it. So, like for me, when I travel, I don't really compare like the countries, like, oh, this is better than this. I just like to know the difference and what they offer, what they do differently from this country, and then at the end of the day, I just embrace those differences and enjoy the moment. The moment you feel, it should have been better, they should do this, you tend to take the fun and the adventure in your whole experience out. So my thought process for traveling is very different. I just love to enjoy whatever it comes with, and I just like to embrace the difference. So I'm just sharing the differences with you, compared to Tanzania, Ghana, and then the infrastructure is different. Ghana and Tanzania, the infrastructure is different. Maybe because I didn't go too many places, based on the two places that I went, the structure and everything is a bit different. So if you just join, just comment below. Let me know where you're watching from. And it's been a long time we spoke. It's called Swahili Phrase Book and Dictionary, and it was 9.99. Cool, awesome. I even wanted to put, it's like a simple word guide, but cool. Somebody already did it. Peace, brother. Supreme. How you doing? It's been a long time we catch that, but hey, that's life. Sometimes we get busy, sometimes things don't go the way we expect it, right? That's life. It's designed that way. It's a natural process. So, I don't really complain about stuff. I just see it as what? Eventful. It will definitely pass, and then you move to the next stage. So, hey, I'm catching up. I'm happy. Um, just so busy and, you know, like schoolwork, now business, job, everything. That's why I can't really make a lot of videos these days. So please forgive me. Hey, good seeing you, Cynthia, Supreme, Zinoyogo. Why you what? Your name sounds like you from Congo. Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah. And also, I just wanted to touch on this. Now, if you have any question, you can go ahead and comment below and I'll take your question. But if you just missed out, what I was sharing about Tanzania and my experience, you can rewatch the video or if I don't delete it. But yeah, you can go ahead and rewatch it. But also, if you have any question, you just comment below. I'll just go ahead and answer it for you. One thing I also wanted to share with everyone is next year we have a lot of amazing date for the trips that we're gonna do. So if you really want to travel next year, just don't miss it. Just talk to me or call me, 866, 783 5188, and you can talk to me about how you want to go, and how do you want us to plan it for you, and we can just make it happen. So we have Ghana in May, August, and October, 3 dates, and I'm sure one of these days will possibly work for you, no matter your schedule. Now, if your schedule don't fit in of this date, all what you got to do is maybe find six or more people, and you know what, come together and we can plan a trip based on your specific date. And then when it comes to Tanzania, it's in July, and then Egypt, we're gonna do Egypt in October, and then we have Kenya coming up also in somewhere maybe September or maybe July, somewhere between. We are not sure about the date for Kenya. And then we plan on adding Senegal to next year date as well. So we have some amazing destinations and dates coming up, and I'm sure you can fit. Now the average cost for these trips is just maybe $1,800. And then the reason why we do it in an advance is simply because when you make your deposit, you can do everything in monthly payment. So the monthly payment for this trip is around like $172, right? It's not expensive. Like if you buy a shoe, or if you just, you know, if you buy shoes every month, you can just stop buying it every month. You can save that money or pay that money towards a trip. And, you know, you have a website? Yes. So the website is africatravelers.com. So Africa as in Africa, and the travelers is TRAVELLERS.com, africatravelers.com. Or guess what? You can just check most of my videos. I have the link in the description and in the pink comment. So you can visit the website and check it out, or just check my community post. I have the link in there. When is the coolest temperatures in Ghana? June, July is rainy season, so it's pretty laid down. May is cool. um August is cool, October is cool, September is cool, December is pretty dry, January is pretty dry, February, March, hot seasons, depending on which part of Ghana you find yourself. So the southern part is mostly more tropical and relaxed. When you go to the northern part, it's pretty hot, regardless of, the season you go. So that's just the difference when it comes to temperature. Yeah, so just make sure you check all my videos, the comment, the description, go to the community section, and you see the link out there. Make sure you join any of these trips. You can keep making excuses all the time if you really want to do something. The moment you put effort in and you attach a plan, it's always achievable. I keep telling people nothing is impossible, right? Because of where I'm coming from, I know how things are, and I'm just saying, like, anything that you want to do is possible. You are not achieving it because you haven't taken the first step. And the step doesn't need to make sense, right? I remember the first trip that we planned, trust me, the person that I was working with at that time almost scammed us the money and took all the money away. But I took the risk simply because I know that was the only option at the end of the day, to trust a strange travel agent to do our reservation for us, you know. And through that process, I was able to learn and restructure things in a better way. So if you and that has take that's a long process from 2016 to this time, right? And through all the journey, it was a learning process for me and everyone that I worked with, right? So I always say, even with my first land purchase, even with my first house, everything is what a plan attached with what one first initial step. I always say this: the steps and the plan don't need to make sense. No matter what it is, you just have to take it. If you take it, now everything will start folding. And then you will realize, oh, I should go left, maneuver right, do this. Now you will restructure and what strategize how you're gonna maneuver through and get there. So, and also one thing is, don't plan your trip around people who have never ever, or ask advice from people who have never been there. So if you really want to take your first trip to African countries, don't talk to that family member who never travels. They haven't been nowhere. They can help you, you know? Like, if you really want to do something, don't talk to the next man who never did it. Talk to somebody who see the possibility because they have already done it. So if you want to buy your first house, don't talk to your uncle who never owned a home. Just go to talk to the next neighbor, the guy or the family member that bought their house 10 years ago or 5 years ago, or just bought their house. Talk to them. They're gonna give you all the information, the resources, guide you. When someone has already been there, they always love to help, right? So if you talk to achievers, you realize they are always willing to help you for free. They just need you to come to them and will ask for help. So if you really want to take a trip, move to an African country, don't talk to a person who never did it. It won't make sense to them. They will not even be able to give you the right resources to take you there. Just talk to a guy who takes people to the continent, or talk to that friend who travels a lot. They're gonna tell you, hey, it's possible, do this, do that, do this. This is how you save money for it. Most people get discouraged because they try to go watch the negativity. How is the security in Africa? Are people getting killed? And they watch all these negative videos and boom, boom, boom. And then they sit there and find an excuse. I want to go, but I'm scared. I don't have anyone to travel with. I don't have anyone to travel with. When you first of all, when you bought your first car, you didn't have your friend did not help you make the down payment. The house, your rent, your friend don't help you pay your rent, right? Your phone bill, your friend don't help you pay your phone bill, right? Your groceries, your friend don't help you pay your groceries. So why do you need validation for your friend to approve before you travel, before you go ahead and take a step you want to take? So you always waiting for that one friend to be like, oh, I'm ready before you travel. I don't have anyone to travel with, so I'm gonna wait till that one friend is ready. Come on, man. If that's you have to be 18 years to be making that decision. But anyone from 20 years and above, come on, man. That's just being naive and childish to just say, oh, I want to do something, but I'm just gonna wait for my when my friend is ready. Then you're not ready. You just don't want to do it. It's just bogus excuse. But that's just me saying. I see a lot of people call me, Daniel, I want to travel, but I don't have a friend to go with. I don't have a friend to go with. But, because I just have to be nice, I can just say, you know what? Stop saying that, or just stop making that excuse. So I just say, well, you know what? When you get that friend, I'm always ready to help you plan it, or you can go ahead and join. I just have to be what um nice. But the truth is, you don't wait for your friend to send the half of your rent, you know, before you pay your rent. It's just ridiculous. But I think it's more of a dependency we have on knowing two heads are better than one. I don't even believe in that statement. Two like heads are better than one, not two heads. So if I want to travel to Ghana and I have a friend who doesn't want to travel, that two heads, they can never be better. So it's just two like heads are better than one. Two like heads are better than one. So if your friend is not ready, if that friend is not ready, that two heads, they are never better. So um that's basically what I can say. But hey, if you want to travel or move to the continent, find somebody. If you want to buy land from the continent, find somebody who already did it. Talk to them, communicate, let them give you some resources, and just take that first step. You just need to take that one first step. And remember, it shouldn't make sense. Anything that we actually see today, from cars, airplanes, mobile phones, clothes, anything that we see, the first thought never made sense. Those who invented it, if they had to come and tell you, I'm gonna make a machine that will fly in the air for hours and carry people in it, it would never make sense, right? But they had to take that step and do it, regardless of the risks involved. That's life. You can never be too protective, because if you do, then you miss out living. Life is all about exploration. We need to find out the things that we don't see. We need to seek for the things that do not exist, right? That's the purpose of life. Just moving from one place to another, trying to do better, move from A to B. So we all try to improve ourselves regardless of what you think it is, right? So life is designed that way. And if you are conditioned to, stay the same, then you realize you go through what a lot of emotional issues, like depression and all that stuff. Sometimes you just need to change your environment. You just need to move from A to B, and most of the things that you feel is going wrong with you will just vanish, because we are social beings and we are meant to explore. We are meant to do things different. We are meant to not be content with whatever we have. We need to move, keep moving, doing different things, exploring, right? So the moment you get used to one thing for so long, it start becoming more stressful to you. The reason why most people don't like their jobs, it's not because the job is bad, but it's because they've been going there over and over and over and over and over, and it's just become so tiring, become so boring. It's not about the job, it's just that you are doing the same thing over and over again. But you tend to even love your job if you keep doing different thing on the side. So if you have a side hustle, if you have a business, if you have something that you do outside your job and not just too into your job, you tend to really find your job interesting. It's because that's how we are designed. It's in our DNA, printed to be sociable, to explore, to move from one place to another. So the moment, society conditions us to stick to one thing for a long period of time, then it takes a big health issues on us. Do you feel a kinship in Tanzania, or do you feel like an outsider there? Well, technically, it shouldn't feel. Technically, you should feel an outsider regardless of where you go if you're not from there. People are welcoming, but the reality is, you know, you cannot be a Tanzanian right away or blend in or assimilate where, like people will not notice you are not from there. That's not possible. I can come into the United States, you know, the moment I speak, you realize I have an accent. I'm not from there, So it's obvious. They are welcoming, but I just know they can just spot the difference that I'm not from there. So I wasn't expecting to really be like, not seen as an outsider. This I just felt like, hey, I'm enjoying having fun. It's welcoming, but I'm gonna be a Ghanaian among them for a while until maybe I stay there, be able to adapt to their culture practices and maybe assimilate with how they do things. Then, uh, uh, you know, just just keep moving. But the honest truth is, no matter where you go, if you are not from there, you feel like a fish out of water, um, for a while until it takes time. Because even though, like I'm from Ghana, and, most of the things in Tanzania look similar, there are certain things that, yeah, makes me feel like, oh, they can see I'm not from there, like they can just see, the people can just see, oh, you're not a Tanzanian, like you're not, yeah. And that's cool. That really helped me connect with people. I went to the market. I always like to go to places where, like the local people are, the hustlers, they are very welcoming than rich people, everywhere you go. So I tend to get closer to the indigenous people, people on the street, try to sit at the local corner, like, restaurant, just vibing with people and all that stuff. It's very ethical to me, and it's very like I don't know how to put it, but I enjoy that connection from that standpoint, and you learn a lot. So I remember I stayed up for a whole night with my friend in Tanzania, just sitting with the local people at a local barber shop. They were speaking Swahili throughout, I didn't understand, but when they speak, they know I don't really understand what they're saying. So they're trying to be very favorable to me. So when they speak for a while, then they try to really chime in English and be like, oh, so this is what we're trying to say. This is what we're trying to say. And I'm like, no, that's fine. You don't have to worry about explaining it. I'm catching up. I'm catching up. But it was a nice experience. It was a nice experience. And this is something I always say, um, it's why we work, right? Like the purpose of us working for money is because we can trade it for something, valuable, something more experiencing. So I really don't care that much, when it comes to maybe spending money or on an event, on a moment and all that stuff. Those are just something, this is an experience that I'll never forget. 50 years from now, if I'm still alive, I can explain that moment to my grandchildren. That's something I always say. You can trade money from it. So if you spend $30,000 on that trip, that's a memory. 50 years from now, you can still get value for it because you can keep sharing the story. You can keep sharing the experience. That moment always exists in your head forever. Oh, you always remember that good days, or whether it was a bad experience or a good experience, it always teaches you something, and you have it forever. But let's say if you spend money on a TV, a big TV, you know, even though you enjoy the experience, 10 years from now, you don't remember that TV. You don't remember those material stuff. So value for money is always based on the small things, the moment, the things that we think it's not really worth it. It's and it's hard trying to sell trips to our people. So let me tell you something. Um, um, Let me say this. Thank you, brother Greg Harris. Thank you for being honest. You're not changed. Bravo. I, I can't. For me, I'm always honest, regardless. Like I'll just say how it is, and at the end of the day, we are humans. We can always know the thin line between he's been truthful and I just cannot accept that truth. So regardless of how you say something, people know when it's true, it is the truth. They just maybe don't have the right energy to receive it at that time. So, always don't compromise, what you see as truth to you. When you say it, people go back and think. Maybe at that moment, they might not receive it on the right energy because maybe it's new to them, right? But when they go back and they think about it, they realize maybe he has a point. So always don't compromise that part of you. uh this is a reality that will slow down back the unity of all the black peoples of Africa, as well as the rest of the children of Africa around the world. We are different and we should respect that. So yeah, so I always tell people this, don't 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 try to force things, right? Me, for example, if I'm an American 100%, cannot speak Ghanaian language, cannot speak nothing, and I move to Ghana, I'm just gonna accept the reality. Like, I'm an American, I'm not from Ghana, and I've moved here. You know what? The reality is, I'm gonna face the challenges of people noticing I'm an American. I'm gonna face the challenges of people calling me that. By the end of the day, what with time, after 5 years, 6 years, finally I'm gonna adapt and the differences will fade away. Things take time. Don't walk in life with expectations that do not exist, like a miracle. Miracles don't really exist like we think they do, right? It's all effort and then what? The law of averaging. Oh, I'm sorry. Can you guys hear me? I think my connection went out. But so just curious. So let me just read a question. Just curious. So when we come back, what does the U.S. require? Well, you just need to get a negative COVID test before you get on a plane, And when you come back, you need to, as long as you are negative, the US do not really require you to quarantine or do anything, but technically it's just obvious that they say, just try to stay home, in case. But now, because of, the negative test that you get before you get on the plane, if you have a negative result before getting back, then you don't need to really quarantine because you don't have the COVID. So yes, they do not require you to quarantine. You have made some great exploration, and I'm looking forward to joining your investment team uh, and acquire some properties. Kudos, bro. We are very proud of you guys. Thank you. Hey, hi, Victoria. How you doing? I went to Tanzania with Victoria this month. Yep. Yeah. So technically, that's what I would like to say. I just lost my chain of thought because somebody called me. But let's try our possible best to live life to the fullest and explore and do the things that we always wanted to do. You know within yourself what you want to do. You are just scared to take that first step. Oh, I have bills to pay. So, I really want to do this. I really want to do this. But because of my job, like I cannot risk it. I cannot risk it. So then you go, you keep doing the things you really don't like. This is not what you don't want to do. But then because of the things that you think you're gonna lose, I need to pay my bills, so I can't even call a day off. I can't even call this days off. I can't even do this. No, if you need it mentally, emotionally, go ahead and do it. Just have a plan and just stick to that plan and just take that first step. Things will work out, and things are always not supposed to go the right way. Regardless of how you plan it, things it's always meant to sometimes go wrong. Because when something goes wrong, it's just a lesson. You don't lose anything. So I always don't see things as profit and loss. It's always a lesson and a profit. If you make a mistake, what happens? You look at what you did. Oh, okay, I made a wrong thing. Next time, when I get back to the same freeway, I'm not supposed to take the I-90, because when I take the I-90, it takes me to the wrong route. I need to take I-70. You don't make mistakes. It's just a lesson. You learn out of it so you can improve. So don't expect things to always work out. The moment you try to make things work out right all the time, you forget to live. You miss out on a lot of stuff. Like I don't want to spend this money. I don't want to spend it. This is what you want. This is what will make you feel happy, or maybe just feel good, or maybe just, solve your curiosity. I don't want to do this because if I spend this money, I can get it. This is the money I've been saving my whole entire life. What's the purpose of saving money if you can spend it? Money is useless until it's being utilized. You can have gold in your room. It serves no purpose if you don't change it and spend it. You can have diamonds in your fridge. It's useless if you don't go out there and use it for something. So everything we have, money and all that stuff, it's useless. The reason why you have a refrigerator is because you use it to what? Basically store food, preserve food. The reason why you have your phone is simply because you use it. So if you have money, don't spend 30 years saving money, putting money in the bank and not using it. What if you die tomorrow? What if something unfortunate happen? You have to go spend all that money on that. You are never leaving. And life is really, really not that too long. You have to remember, don't think you need to retire before you go for trips. Before you I need to retire before, when I retire, I'm gonna travel around the world. When you retire, you probably old. You be sleeping. You be sleeping. You when you move one, two, three, you tired. You can't even enjoy the trip because then you probably too old and you don't want to do too much. Or who even promised you gonna retire? You don't know the future. You can only prepare for it, but then don't prepare for it too much because you're gonna miss on the present. I always say this. If you need to do something, do it. Just do it like Nike says. Just do it. I'm telling you because I'm a practical example of what I'm saying from everything. If I really want to do something, I do it regardless of the outcome. I remember I did one first thing. It was my first land that I bought. And let me tell you, I didn't really have all the money for that land. My mom just called me and said, hey, one of my friends said she's selling her land at this location. This is the price. I'm like, I don't have the money. I don't have the money to buy the land. Like, I don't have it. And I just sat down after the phone call, and my mom was like, If you can try and buy it, it's good because it's at a good location. The location is really good landmarks over there and all the stuff." So I'm sitting down. I'm like, "How do I get this money? I don't have it." So I called my mom and I said, "You know what? I have maybe I think the money I had at that time was like less than half of the price. So I just told my mom, hey, tell her I want to buy it. And my mom was like, did you get the money? I'm like, nope, but I'm gonna buy it. She was like, how? I said, don't worry about it, I'll buy it. And she called her and she was like, oh, okay. When do you want us to do the transaction? And I'm like, okay, on Tuesday, we can meet at your house and we can make the purchase. I know I don't have the full amount. That's what I told her. So we just got there, sat down, talked about it, look at the property, do everything. And I said, you know what? Just take this. I just have this amount. And the rest of the money, I have it in a different account in a different country. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna travel soon within a week time. Just take this as a deposit. When I get back, I'll just send it to you. So let me just have your account number. And she was like, I thought you had I, why didn't you tell me this before? I thought you had all the money. She was like, oh man, I thought you had the money. And I'm like, yeah, I have it, but not with me right now. I have the money, but not with me right now. This is what I have right now. So why don't you take this as a deposit? That means this is my promise to you that I'm gonna bring the rest to you within a week time. And she was like, well, if it wasn't for your mom, I was not gonna do this because I need a full payment. I just don't like half payments and all that stuff. And I'm like, this is not half payment. This is just my assurance that I'm gonna give you the rest of the money within a week, right? Trust me, I didn't know where I'll get the rest of the money from. But the moment she took that money, I knew that's my land right there. The moment she took that money, I knew. And it took me a year, 1 year, to get that money back to her. Remember, I told her a week, but she was able to wait for a year for me to get that money for her. No, it didn't make sense to me. I didn't know where I'd get the money from, but I took that first step. And the rest, I had to figure it out. The rest is how do I get the rest for her, within a week. And a week was impossible because it wasn't real. That wasn't realistic. And then I tried to do it in a year. And she had to wait because she has already taken part of the money. So whatever you intend to do, just take that first step and it shouldn't make sense. That first step shouldn't make sense. If every step that you're gonna take makes sense, there's something wrong with the process. There's something wrong with the process. So if you I'm learning computer programming, and that's one thing I've learned in programming. Every code that you write, there's always gonna be some type of error, and that's good. That's called debugging. The moment you get error, you learn from the error, and then you fix the code. Now when you write the code, you write it perfectly. That's how it is. But your first codes will always have some mistake, some syntax error, some wrong indentations. There's always going to be something wrong with that first script that you write. But then at the end of the day, those mistakes, that feedback you get, you learn through the process. So just to make a long story short, take that first step. you know what else do you have to lose if you don't leave? You eventually die anyway, so why don't you just live your best time and explore over here? No matter how much you save, you eventually die. You just don't know when. So don't extend your happiness to the future too much. Don't extend the things that you think is best for you to the future too much. Because people are here today, tomorrow they are gone. That best friend, that healthy guy that you see, your sister or brother, they can catch a car accident, they're gone tomorrow. They can catch a disease, they're gone tomorrow. So you cannot reschedule your happiness to the future, when you can live tomorrow, when you can just live in within a seconds. You always need to prioritize that first. And you don't know anything after you die. It's only what based on faith and hope and all that stuff. Nobody ever died, woke up and come back and told you there's something out there. The only place we know is here because we can feel it, touch it, and see it. That's our reality. So why don't you accept that and prioritize that first and enjoy it? When you die and go, there's a place. Just be a good person. If there's a place and you deserve to be there, you'll be there. If you don't deserve to be there, then wherever you go, you go. But then don't think there's any better place, apart from this earth, this planet. This is the best place humans can ever live. This is our best place. There's no other place. So when you find yourself alive and surviving, do the best things, live to the fullest. 70 years is right now our maximum. If you happen to go up years, you are just the lucky one. But 70 years is basically now the average. So make sure you don't procrastinate your happiness and the good moment. Live it. Money, just remember that quote: money is useless until it's being utilized or used. See, a lot of people save too much money in the bank in the hope that, hey, when I finally retire, I'm gonna enjoy that money. Who told you? Who even promised you that? That's expectation. That's, you just expect that things will be that way. But it doesn't work that way. It don't. So that's just my 2 cents. you know I've always been thinking like this, even when I was 15. Tell my mom and my dad, I'm like, hey, you know we should leave. That money that you have, let's go buy, you know like, if we can afford the best food, let's go buy it. Why are you trying to, compromise the way we're gonna? Some people can't even eat well. They can't eat healthy simply because they're, I need to save, like, I need to save, all this money, and therefore let me just stack on this junk food for 3 4 years, or let me just, why? Why? Why are you doing this to yourself? Who even programmed us to think that way? That we have to really compromise on our health, happiness, the things that, feel more meaningful to us. Why do we have to? You know, just remember, it's like a rule. It's very short. Life is straightforward short. It's never promised. So if you are alive today and you're not doing what if you're not doing what you think you will make you happy, you're not living. You haven't really explored enough or taken enough risk. Imagine everyone was thinking like you and scared to make aeroplane, then we wouldn't have aeroplanes. Imagine everyone is scared to get on a plane. How would they bring stuff or deliver stuff to you? People like think about that. We take risk. That's why this planet Earth is, you know, the best place to ever be, a better place. It's improving because we take a risk every single day. Even driving your car, you can have all the insurance you want, but a trailer can run you over. You are taking risk. If you can do all that stuff, take the risk and go to work, why don't you just do the same thing? So you can just, you know, leave. So if you have any question, just put it under the comment below, and then we can call it a day for this live session. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you haven't subscribed, just go ahead and do so. But if you have any question, just go ahead and do it. Comment below and let me answer you. We have 23 people. Please let me know where you're watching from. I like the connection. I just want to know where you guys are watching from. Yep. Drop your comment. Come on. Come on, drop your comment. Let me know where you're watching from. I just want to feel like I'm talking to people. You know, Brooklyn, Victoria. I'm gonna send you the pictures when Phil sent me. Okay, don't worry. I'm gonna send you guys the pictures for free. Okay, don't worry. No payment. I'm gonna send it. Um, 23 people and no one is commenting. Just Victoria. Oh yeah, yeah, Victoria. I'm gonna send it. Las Vegas, Brooklyn, New York. All right. So since no one has a question and people are just trying to be um, secretive because they don't want to know, they don't want me to know who they are and they're just watching. We can call it a day. If you miss out on what I think about Tanzania, you can rewatch the video from the beginning and you can get that part of what I said in the video. And don't forget, next year we have a lot of trips coming up. So, if you really want to travel, like I said, it's just $172 a month, that you make. You can get this type of flexibility anywhere, and our trips are not expensive, like I forgot one thing. A lot of people ask me, oh, you do your trip just for black people? To be honest, if I want to be honest, selling trips to our own people is the most selling experience, selling traveling to our people is the most difficult thing to ever do when it comes to sales or business. Like we don't travel. We don't travel. Even to neighboring countries, not specifically to Africa. But statistics will tell you we don't travel, we don't move, you know, like our forefathers did. Even now that we have so many resources, we don't, you know. Go to Jamaica. It's right here. If you can afford to go to Africa, travel to Jamaica. Go to the Bahamas. Go to the Caribbeans. You can go to the UK. It won't cost you that much. if you can travel to to Africa. But selling trips to our people is the most difficult thing. It's like they don't see the value of traveling. So the moment they see $2,000 for a trip, oh, it's too expensive. It's too expensive. I don't sell trips to Europeans simply because of what I stand for and simply because I don't want to mix our experience, because we expect something different when we travel to Africa. We have a different purpose of going there. We have a different vision, compared to Europeans. Europeans go there mostly for just 100% tourism and adventure. But when we go, people wants to build a connection. They just travel for a different reason, right? So I don't want to mix that two interest on a trip. That's why I don't sell trips to them, but they are the best market to sell because they know the purpose, they know the reason and purpose of traveling. People, you need to talk a room full of words and convincing. Like you need to really, like I need to really convince you to explore and travel. It's crazy. Like we don't see the benefit of spending $4,000 on a vacation. How? Like how? It just don't click to me all the time. But I just want to keep, improving that with our people. I just want to keep encouraging them to do it. And everyone that takes the first trip, anyone that take their first trip, now they get exposed to this whole new social experience, and they feel like, wow, I need to be doing this more. Now they don't care about the money anymore. Now they want to travel. So all the people that have traveled with us, from 2017, 18, 19, they tend to travel again. Just first time travelers, they tend to travel again. And this time, they don't even complain. They don't even say nothing. They're just booking simply because they just came out of that shell. They just came out of that shell. Our trips are always 10 days. You know, they just felt like, oh wow, I should have been doing this. There's one lady that when we went to Tanzania, we did a ceremony for her. Her name is Nicole. May she rest in peace, perfectly peace. She traveled with me to Ghana in 2019. And, I remember the first time I spoke to her on the phone. She, like when she called and she was like, I want to join a group trip. How do I go about it? I explained the process for her. And then she was like, send me the invoice. And then she made the full payment. And I'm like, wow, this lady's really serious. Now, when she came to Ghana, and after the 10 days, she was like, Daniel, this is the best thing I have ever experienced in my entire life. And the reason why I needed to take this trip is my whole entire life, I wanted to travel, but work, everything and stuff, I've always made an excuse not to until I survived my cancer. After surviving my cancer, I realized, you know what? I cannot keep making excuses because tomorrow is not promised for me. So I need to do this. So I really don't care. I want to go. I really want to go. And then that's when I realized, she was cancer free, or she even have been through that situation. And when we came back and we had Tanzania for this year, she was like, I'm going on a Tanzania trip, but then I need to get on chemo. You know, After my chemo, I'm gonna make my full payment and travel. So pray for me I survive this time. And the unfortunate thing is she did not survive this one, and she died. So When we went there, we took some of her pictures, and then we drop it in Tanzania for her. We believe her soul wanted to be there, and she couldn't make it, so we had to take her there for her. That's something we just did with a hope that, her spirit can eventually get to Tanzania. But that was just an example, a real life example, for people who make excuses for the things that they think and believe and know within themselves. It's more meaningful for them to do, you know. But it always hurts me to know she couldn't make it to Tanzania, because she was like, I'm going, but I have to survive this second one. I have to survive this second one, and she has always wanted to do it until, something happened to her, and she was like, no, I cannot keep making that excuses. So um that's what I just wanted to say. I hope you got motivated, and this is gonna help you go out there and do the things you wanted to always do, without setting boundaries around it. We build our own prison and complain why, we are not free. It's crazy, right? We build our own prison. When we say prison, it's not here. You can live in a cell and be free. It's all the way you see it. It's all in your head, you know? Because if you think about it, our apartment, our rooms and all that stuff, we just have more room to move, but most of us are in prison, especially the way we live, and we just don't know, right? Some people are just outside, but they are basically in prison, just like somebody who has been jailed, you know. And I always say this: we sleep, do your calculation. If the average life, length is 70 years, and you work 8 hours out of the day and you sleep 8 hours, right? We have 24 hours in a day. Just do the math. We have 24 hours in a day. If you work 8 hours and you sleep 8 hours, that means you have 8 hours to do the things you love in a day, right? But how many of us really just work 8 hours and sleep 8 hours? Some people do overtime. Some people have a lot of, stuff going on the side. So they end up even spending, but let's just forget about that. Let's just stick to the math. You have 8 hours to sleep, 8 hours to work, and then 8 hours for your leisure time, right? So if you do the math for 70 years, you have 25 years to sleep. If you live up to 70 years, that means your whole entire lifespan, you slept for 25 years, you worked for 25 years, and then the 8 hours, you basically have 25 years to really live. So you technically have 25 years to do the things you love. Ask yourself, can you make that happen? Can you? So if you combine overtime and all the distractions and the things that you've really set yourself to, like you went out there and bought a high-end car, and now you paying all this car note, and because you cannot pay, you have to work and work and work. You end up doing 16 hours, you end up doing maybe 12 hours, you end up doing 10 hours, and because of that, you don't get time to really leave. You don't even see your bed, you don't even see your apartment. You're always on the go, boom, 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 boom. And then up to 70 years, you've worked your entire life without leaving. Think about all that stuff. Do math to it. Do your calculation. You know, don't set boundaries. you know, around the things you love to do, the things you want to explore. Don't set those boundaries. That's just, imprisonment, So, hey, mindset is everything. That's the power of the mind. True, 100%. Mindset is everything. We create our own prisons and then be like, why we not free? Why? At the end of the day, you can be free if you want any single day. Like you can travel, you can do all the things you want to do, but the reason why you cannot do it is because you're choosing not to. You don't have enough money. Ask yourself, why are you paying $1,000 on a car that it doesn't do anything special for you? It's just a car. You could have just bought a simple one and have enough money to go do the things you wanted to do. So you made those choices. You set your own boundaries, your own prison, and you put yourself in it. you know oh like the best thing that I would love to do is maybe travel to Las Vegas every month, and this is the amount. So therefore, you know what, I need to save money right now because I don't have the money. But then, instead of maybe living in a 3-bedroom apartment, you went and got a 4-bedroom where it's so expensive, and now you can't enjoy the things you love. So we set our own, our boundaries. We create our own prison, right? It's everything we are going through is our fault. If you think about it, we made those choices, but it's hard to accept that reality because then you know you're gonna feel bad, so you need to find something to blame. Like, it's just the fault of the government, it's the fault of the economy. If they could have just increased the minimum wage, things would be better. If they can stop doing this, things would be better. I'm where I am because this happened, because that happened, because that happened. We tend to always avoid being accountable for the action, the choices, and the decisions we made for ourselves that nobody forced us to do, right? Because that makes us feel better. That makes us feel like, oh, now I can really, really, you know, uh, not look at myself like, a failure or someone who is not truly making it. So for me, I always say everything we are going through is one way or the other. It's our fault. We played a role in it. And the moment you accept that this is my fault, like I'm not really making enough money because I'm choosing not to, because I didn't go out there and get a right skill, because I don't want to go to school and learn and get maybe a degree, or maybe something, or maybe because I don't want to start that business, or because I haven't acquired any skills. You know what to do, you're just choosing not to do it, and it's your fault. That's why. But then we cannot see it that way, because if you do, uh you see yourself like, oh, so that's what I wanted to share. I love to talk, when I get in that mood. But thank you so much. We'll call it a day. Make sure you subscribe, smash that like button, and I hope to see you next year with us in Ghana, Tanzania, Egypt, Kenya, whichever destination you choose to travel with us. I'll be there if it's possible. But if not, trust me, make that decision that you're gonna travel next year. If it's not to Africa, you're gonna go to Jamaica, Bahamas, or anywhere you can find yourself. And then come back and tell me how it felt. How was your first time traveling outside, even your state, even your city, and even your country? Just tell me that. Just share it with me, you know. And if that can get you out of that shell, that prison you have created for yourself, you start seeing opportunities. You start seeing things blossom. You start seeing things flourishing, because what, you decided to go out there and explore, do something different. and your mind and your energy will align and show you the possibilities out there. And then when you come back, you feel different. You become a different person. Your family members and friends will see that in you and say, "Oh, well, hey, you sound different now. Now you talking more political. You talking more Afrocentric, or now you talking more of Black empowerment. What did you learn from that trip? Like what was the change? How did you get here with that thought process? It's because you discovered something on your journey. So thank you so much. My name is Daniel Kofi Buedu, and you can always give us a call on 866-783-5188. Subscribe. Don't be stingy. You don't lose anything when you subscribe. Thank you. Stay blessed and see you.